Hello, friend, and welcome to the Sleepy Meteorologist. Tonight, we're floating into the gentle power and dreamy secrets of thunderstorms. Their distant rumbles, soft flickers of light, and slow, rolling presence in the evening sky invite us to listen, to feel, and to simply be. Maybe your day has been long, or maybe it's just that quiet time when your body begins to soften and your mind starts to let go. Perhaps you're lying in bed right now, or curled up in a favorite chair, or watching the last light fade outside your window. What time is it for you right now? Whatever moment you find yourself in, I'm really glad you're here. This space is a cozy one, a gentle corner of the night where science and stillness meet, where even thunderstorms become lullabies. If these sleepy meteorology journeys bring you calm, feel free to like or subscribe. Your support helps more dreamy travelers find their way here. But for now, there's nothing you need to do. Just snuggle in. Let the sounds settle around you. Let's drift into our journey. Let's begin. Before a thunderstorm arrives, the world becomes quiet in the most curious of ways. The air stills, not just above, but all around. Leaves seem to pause mid-rustle. The breeze, once lively, softens until it's hardly there at all. Birds, ever the storytellers of the sky, fall silent. Even the trees, which usually sway and murmur, appear to stand tall and watchful. There is a hush, a warm, golden hush, that stretches across fields and rooftops, across rivers and forests. It's a silence that feels almost thoughtful, as if the earth itself is inhaling, holding that breath in gentle suspense. Meteorologically, this quiet marks the arrival of something remarkable. What you're sensing is the downdraft, cool air descending from high within a storm cloud's leading edge. As a thunderstorm begins to build, warm surface air rises and fuels it. This warm, moist air climbs skyward and condenses into tall, dramatic clouds. Meanwhile, cooler air from above begins to spill downward, pushed ahead of the forming storm. And so you might feel it, a subtle shift, a slight chill brushing your skin, almost like a whisper. The temperature dips, the light dims, the sky takes on a muted tone, the colors softening as clouds gather with intention. Everything slows. In this moment, between calm and commotion, the atmosphere is gently rearranging itself. It's a threshold between what was and what's to come. A stillness wrapped in potential. Not a warning, but a transition. A moment suspended in time. Some call this pause eerie, but here, in this space, we think of it differently. It is reverent, sacred, a breath before a lullaby of thunder. If you were to lie in a field or look out your window just then, you might feel more than see the change. The sky darkens gradually, and the horizon becomes a blur of distant grey. But there is no rush. Nature is never in a hurry. The clouds are assembling above, layer by layer, pulling moisture and energy upward in slow, deliberate spirals. The temperature drop, subtle as it may be, is one of the first tactile signs. It tells you the downdraft has arrived. That sinking air is cool and dry, pressing gently downward and outward. It fans out across the land, nudging blades of grass and rustling the tops of trees, though never harshly. Listen closely in this moment, and you might hear nothing at all. That, in itself, is telling. In the stillness, you're standing at the doorway to something larger, a quietly forming wonder in the atmosphere, one that will bring sound and shimmer. But for now, it is only breath, only softness. And as we lie here, breathing with the breeze, we begin our journey into the tender and layered nature of thunderstorms, not as chaos, but as poetry, not as noise, but as story. Let's drift now, deeper into the clouds, high above the earth, where air turns thin and blue, fades to deep navy. Sleeping giant stirs. It is not made of stone or shadow, but of vapor, of motion, of warmth, rising into chill. The cumulonimbus cloud, tall, mighty, and ever-shifting, is the birthplace of the thunderstorm. Often unnoticed at first, it grows from a single puff of white into a colossal tower of power and beauty. Rising upward from the earth, these clouds can reach heights of 60,000 feet, higher than where most airplanes soar. But for all their size, they begin humbly. A patch of warm, moist air, usually near the ground, begins to rise. This rising air is lighter than what surrounds it, and so it lifts like a sigh. As it rises, the moisture within cools and condenses into tiny droplets, forming a cloud. But it does not stop there. An updraft takes hold, a strong vertical current that carries the cloud skyward. As it ascends, the cloud expands and billows, sculpting itself into a great anvil shape. Inside, a secret ballet begins. Water droplets rise and fall, bump and spin. Ice, crystals swirl, raindrops collide and shatter. All of this builds energy, not chaotic, but patient, rhythmic energy. The air inside this cloud is alive with motion. Some parts rise in spirals, while others descend in downdrafts. The contrast in temperatures, warm air climbing, cold air sinking, creates internal tension. This friction, invisible yet powerful, begins to separate electric charges. Positive charges float toward the top. Negative ones sink to the bottom. A quiet charge builds. From the outside, you see only the dreamy silhouette, a glowing column reaching into twilight. But inside, the cloud is a symphony of motion. It's a weather machine, drawing power from earth and sky alike. Cumulonimbus clouds are not always loud. Sometimes they are distant, standing silently on the horizon like tall castles in the mist. You might watch their edges ripple gently, their tops glowing pink in the last light of day. Yet even in that softness, they hold potential. This is the dream engine of storms, a place where air, lifted by warmth, sculpts itself into stories. A place where light and water meet in motion. A place where the whisper of a raindrop can become the echo of thunder. As we float beside this cloud, let us marvel at its design, not fear it. Let us see the gentle ballet of thermals rising, droplets dancing, and energy gathering like a slow, building lullaby. And as we drift onward, we follow the rhythm of the updraft into the heart of the sky. As a cumulonimbus cloud grows, it eventually meets a quiet boundary, the tropopause, a lid of sorts, between the lower atmosphere and the calmer stratosphere above. When this mighty cloud can rise no further, it begins to spread, outward, gently, gracefully. From the ground, you might see this transformation as a soft, flat canopy, an elegant shelf that extends like a table in the sky. This is the anvil top, named for its resemblance to the blacksmith's tool, though there's nothing heavy or metallic about it. Up here, in the high, cold places, the cloud becomes a delicate veil of icy cirrus, feathering outward into thin, fibrous layers. The entire cloud now resembles something otherworldly, a towering column rising into a broad, umbrella-like cap. Some say it looks like a mushroom, blooming slowly in the sky. Others see a massive ship, floating silently above the earth. However you imagine it, there's a dreamlike quality to its shape, a softness, a stillness that belies the movement within. This anvil is not just beautiful, it tells a story. It's a sign that the storm has reached its fullest height. The updrafts that fed it are strong, carrying vapor as high as the atmosphere allows. And once there, the moisture fans out, sculpted by upper-level winds into thin streamers that trail across the sky like wisps of silk. Sometimes, if the storm is particularly powerful, you'll see overshooting tops, little bumps or domes that poke above the anvil, like curious thoughts trying to rise beyond their limits. These are brief surges of energy, momentary bursts of cloud that push upward before being folded gently back into the broader canopy. Above it all, the sky grows a deeper blue, tinged with grey and violet. Below, the land quiets. There may be a hush, a feeling of being very small beneath something very vast. But even here, there's nothing to fear. The storm is simply expressing itself, completing its vertical journey before turning outward and unfolding like a story nearing its final chapter. From a distance, anvil tops are breathtaking at sunset. The fading light paints them in hues of gold, coral, and lavender. They seem to glow from within, catching the last warmth of day as the world below grows cooler and more still. This high, spreading cloud is the storm's crown, a final sigh before the rain begins to fall. And so we rest beneath it, watching the sky bloom in slow motion. A mushroom of mist, an anvil of ice, a canvas painted by wind and vapor. Let's drift gently now, beneath its wings, toward the scents the rain will soon bring. There is a smell, subtle and sweet, earthy and clean, that rises just before the rain. You've likely noticed it, maybe without knowing what to call it. A nostalgic aroma that stirs as the first drops fall, or sometimes even earlier, when the sky begins to darken and the wind shifts. It's soft, familiar, comforting. This is petrichor, a name as lyrical as the scent itself. The word comes from ancient Greek, petra, meaning stone, and ichor, the ethereal fluid said to flow through the veins of the gods. Petrichor is the perfume of rain-kissed earth, a fragrance released when raindrops touch dry soil after a stretch of sun and stillness. The science, softly told, begins with oils. During dry spells, plants release aromatic compounds into the ground, little whispers of themselves, tucked into dust and clay. When the rain arrives, it stirs these oils and carries them upward. The droplets, as they land, trap tiny air bubbles in the soil. These bubbles rise and burst, gently releasing scent into the wind. It's nature's own diffusion, a slow exhale from the earth itself. There's another scent, sharper and crisper, that sometimes arrives just before a storm. It's carried on a cool breeze and tinged with energy. That scent is ozone, a faint, almost electric fragrance that drifts down from high above. It's created when lightning splits the molecules of the atmosphere, triggering a cascade of reactions that form ozone. This trace gas, usually far above us, is pulled downward by storm currents, giving us a preview of the drama to come. But don't worry, there is no harshness here, no urgency, just the delicate layering of scent and sensation. Imagine now a porch swing, a soft cushion beneath you, the sky growing dim, the first taps of rain on leaves, the smell of earth, rich and living, rising to meet you, the quiet crackle of ozone brushing the air like static on silk. Everything feels renewed, washed, softened. In this moment, the world becomes tactile. The rain doesn't just fall, it awakens. The air, once invisible, becomes a scented river. It flows around you, through open windows, across rooftops and grasses and streams. It carries with it memories of summer storms, of garden soil, of childhood afternoons spent watching the sky ripple with grey. These scents are more than chemistry. They are part of the weather's story, the sensory prologue to a lullaby of droplets and distant thunder. So breathe in. Let the petrichor wrap around your thoughts. Let the ozone whisper its clean, high-altitude song. And as the rain begins to fall, let yourself soften too. This is nature's perfume, made not in bottles, but in the spaces between clouds and clay. And it's yours, tonight, to fall asleep to. Thunder does not arrive all at once. It rolls, it echoes, it comes in waves, like sound travelling across the surface of a dream. Perhaps you've heard it from your window, a low, distant murmur, then a pause, then another, deeper and closer. It may feel like a drumbeat far away, growing stronger, then fading into the hills. But thunder is not a single sound. It's a chorus, a ripple, a memory of the flash that came before it. Let's begin at the start, with lightning. When lightning strikes, it doesn't simply light up the sky. It heats the air around it, and it does so instantly. The temperature of the lightning bolt can reach nearly 30,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than the surface of the sun. This sudden burst of heat causes the surrounding air to expand violently, faster than sound itself. That expansion, like a balloon bursting, but on a massive scale, sends out a pressure wave. That wave becomes thunder. But why does it rumble? The answer lies in distance and in shape. Lightning is not a point. It's a path, sometimes several miles long, zigzagging through the sky, often hidden behind clouds. Each tiny segment of that jagged bolt heats the air and creates its own miniature sonic boom. All of those booms overlap and blend together, reaching your ears as one long, rolling growl. And because light travels faster than sound, we always see lightning before we hear the thunder. The farther away the lightning is, the longer it takes for the sound to reach us, and the gentler the thunder seems. Sometimes the rumble is low and gentle, like footsteps in the sky. Other times it cracks sharply, echoing through valleys or bouncing off city walls. In open landscapes, the sound can continue for many seconds, shifting and wrapping itself around hills and trees before fading into silence. Each environment paints the thunder differently. In the forest, it's muffled, filtered through leaves and bark. Over water, it skips and sparkles, sharp and quick and clear. In the desert, it rolls endlessly, like a drumbeat that never quite finishes. And though it may sound fierce, thunder itself cannot harm you. It is sound, nothing more. A message from the sky, telling you that air has been moved, that heat has danced through clouds, that a storm is speaking in its own slow language. If you're counting the seconds between lightning and thunder, you're gently measuring distance. For every 5 seconds between flash and rumble, the storm is about a mile away. It's a lovely way to listen, to feel connected to the sky's rhythm. So next time thunder rolls through your window pane, try not to brace for it. Instead, let it pass through you like a soft vibration. Let it wash over you like ocean waves. A reminder that the sky, even in motion, holds music within it. The storm is singing, and you are safe inside the song. Before lightning strikes, it searches. Long before that brilliant, branching flash lights up the sky, a secret journey begins inside the heart of a storm cloud. It's not a single bolt, not yet, but a slow, invisible path forming through layers of vapor, charge, and motion. It starts deep within a cumulonimbus cloud, where tiny ice crystals and water droplets swirl in constant motion. As these particles rise and fall, they collide, And through these gentle collisions, they begin to build electric charge. Over time, the cloud becomes a living battery. The upper regions grow positively charged, while the lower parts collect negative charge. Below the cloud, the Earth responds, often becoming positively charged itself, as if in anticipation. But the sky doesn't rush, it builds. Eventually, the contrast becomes too great. The balance cannot hold, and so the cloud reaches out. From its lower edge, a thread of negative charge begins to descend toward the Earth. This thread is called a stepped leader, a faint, branching trail of electricity, searching for connection. It moves in stages, pausing after each step, almost like it's feeling its way through the air. It's invisible to our eyes, silent, flickering in microscopic paths. It twists downward, sometimes splitting, sometimes turning, weaving its way toward rooftops, treetops, and hilltops, the tallest things it can find. At the same time, the Earth sends out a greeting of its own, a thin streamer of positive charge that rises up to meet the leader. When the two paths finally connect, they create a complete circuit, and in that instant, the lightning flash begins. What we see is not the slow, searching descent, but the return stroke, a brilliant burst of light racing upward along the newly formed path at unimaginable speed. It's that stroke that lights the sky, that illuminates the clouds from within, that draws branching patterns like glowing roots across the heavens. And then, just as quickly, it vanishes. But the path remains, invisible again, sometimes reused for another strike only milliseconds later. That's why lightning often flickers or pulses, as if the sky is blinking or breathing. Sometimes this all happens within the clouds themselves, a hidden ballet of electricity never touching the ground. You may see the clouds glow from within, a soft strobe behind the curtain. This is intra-cloud lightning, quiet and veiled, a storm dreaming to itself. Other times, the bolt stretches cloud to ground or cloud to cloud. Each path is unique. Each dance is unrepeatable. Lightning doesn't just strike. It listens first. It looks. It follows the quietest of roads made of charge and stillness and space. So the next time you see a flash and feel that sense of wonder, remember, that bolt took time. It traced a delicate path. It searched the sky and found its way home. There is a color the sky wears just before the storm, a tone unlike any other time of day, not quite morning, not quite dusk. It is soft and strange, glowing in unexpected ways. Stormlight. Perhaps you've seen it, when everything outside turns golden, yet the clouds above are dark and brooding. Or when the world becomes tinted greenish-grey, like an old photograph left too long in the sun. The air takes on a hue. Shadows stretch in unusual directions. And for a few quiet moments, reality feels slightly altered, dreamlike even. This beautiful, eerie light is not magic, but it certainly feels like it. The colour of stormlight is shaped by scattering, the way sunlight bends and bounces through the thickening sky. As a thunderstorm approaches, the atmosphere fills with water droplets and ice crystals. These particles scatter shorter wavelengths of light, like blues and violets, allowing longer tones, yellows, oranges, even subtle reds, to reach us. But during a storm, the clouds themselves become part of the painting. Large cumulonimbus towers absorb light, casting shadows across the landscape. At the same time, breaks in the clouds allow sunlight to peek through at unusual angles, often from low on the horizon, especially in late afternoon. That sunlight, filtered through moist air and bouncing off the undersides of clouds, creates a canvas of rich and shifting hues. And sometimes green appears. A pale green sky can feel strange, even haunting, but it's simply the result of light filtering through moisture-heavy clouds. When the sun hits thick columns of rain or hail within a storm, the combination of water content and sunlight angle can produce a soft jade tint. It's nature's watercolor, blended gently, layer by layer. All around, the colors deepen. Trees seem darker, more still. Skin glows faintly warm in the quiet light. Surfaces reflect in amber tones. There's a cinematic hush, as if time has slowed and the world is wrapped in a silk veil. Stormlight has long inspired artists, poets, and those who simply pause to look up. It is both beautiful and impermanent, a quiet threshold between clear skies and rainfall. It reminds us that the atmosphere is alive with colour, even when clouded. And though we may associate storms with thunder and flash, here is another kind of wonder. The hush of golden grass under grey sky. The warmth of soft light on windows before the rain. The feeling of walking through a painting you didn't expect. So if you see it, this gentle golden stormlight, let it stop you. Let it wrap around you like a warm breath before the breeze turns cool. For just a little while, the world glows differently, and you are part of its colour. In the wide open sky, not all rain falls the way we expect. Some of it drifts, then disappears, a graceful ghost of rain. This is virga. You may have seen it, long trailing wisps of grey that stretch down from a cloud like threads or veils, slowly fading before they touch the earth. From a distance, they look like streaks painted onto the sky with a soft brush, a curtain of rain suspended in time. Virga is rain that evaporates before it reaches the ground. It begins like any other precipitation. Moisture gathers high within the cloud, condenses into droplets, and begins to fall. But as the rain descends, it passes through a layer of dry air, an invisible barrier where the humidity is low and the air is thirsty. As the droplets fall through this dry layer, they evaporate, turning from liquid to vapor. They vanish into the air, their journey unfinished. There's no splash, no puddle, no sound, just a visual sigh from the sky. This phenomenon often occurs in desert regions or in high plains where the air near the surface is warm and dry. But it can happen anywhere conditions are right. Moist above, dry below. It is common near sunset, when skies are painted in gold and rose, making the trailing virga all the more dramatic. From above, virga can look like angel hair, flowing from clouds that glow in the evening light. Pilots and high-flying birds may glide past these wisps, watching them drift and dissolve mid-air. Sometimes, virga brings more than beauty. As the rain evaporates, it cools the air around it. This cooling creates downdrafts, sinking air that can influence wind patterns at the surface. In rare cases, strong virga-induced downdrafts may create sudden gusts known as microbursts, though most are gentle and barely noticed. But here, in the quiet of our sleep weather story, virga is not forceful. It is graceful. It is poetry in motion. There's something comforting about it. The idea of rain that falls softly, privately, with no need to reach the earth. It offers moisture to the air. It paints the sky with motion. And then it's gone, like a lullaby sung from the clouds. A gift meant not to land, but to float. So the next time you look up and see those delicate trails falling and fading, know this: you are watching the sky breathe. A moment of rain made mist, a secret, almost rain, that whispers rather than sings. And perhaps, as you rest tonight, you'll drift like virga too, falling softly through sleep, dissolving into dream. Most of us look for lightning that strikes the ground, but often lightning has other ideas. Sometimes it stays aloft, high in the sky, dancing between clouds in quiet brilliance. This is cloud-to-cloud lightning, a hidden conversation above our heads. Not loud, not always seen, but always moving, always alive. Unlike the dramatic bolt that touches Earth, cloud-to-cloud lightning begins and ends within the sky itself. It travels horizontally, or at a slant, threading through the air like a glowing river. These flashes may connect one part of a cloud to another, or leap from one cloud to its distant cousin. The result is elegant, sprawling, wide like a horizon. You might not always see it directly, but its presence is there, illuminating the sky in short, shimmering pulses. Sometimes it looks like a soft flicker behind the clouds, like a lantern glowing behind a curtain. At other times, it reveals its graceful arms, stretching sideways in jagged, branching patterns. Each fork a whisper of stored energy, suddenly released. This form of lightning is more common than most realize. In fact, many of the flashes we see during a storm are intracloud or intercloud, both forms of cloud-to-cloud lightning. The bright strikes that hit the ground are the exception, not the rule. High above, in the cold and lofty tops of cumulonimbus towers, opposite charges build. Positive and negative regions drift apart, separated by miles of swirling vapor. And when the tension grows too great, the cloud discharges sideways, like passing a note across a crowded room. There is something gentle about this form of lightning. It is less abrupt, less sharp. It moves with patience, unfurling across the sky as if painting with light. You might see it while lying in bed at night, peeking through the blinds as a warm summer storm passes overhead. No thunder, not right away, just silent sky fire. And that silence is part of the beauty. Because cloud-to-cloud lightning is often distant, its thunder may take a long time to reach you, or it may not reach you at all. Instead, the sky flashes, and then fades. Sometimes this lightning forms a spectacular shape called heat lightning, a term often used to describe lightning seen on hot nights with no thunder nearby. But heat lightning isn't caused by heat at all. It's simply distant cloud-to-cloud lightning, too far away for the thunder to travel. It's like watching a memory. The light is there, but the sound has moved on. So, when you see a quiet flash, when the sky pulses softly and then returns to stillness, know that something lovely just happened. The clouds spoke to one another briefly. They passed energy across the sky. They lit up a path that few will ever trace. It is the sky's secret conversation, a whisper between clouds, a story told in streaks and shimmer. And you, the quiet observer beneath it all, are part of that story now. Rest here, under their silent light. The sky is still speaking, gently and just for you. You see it first, a flicker, far away, then silence. Then, slowly, a soft roll of thunder arrives, like a drumbeat carried across time. There's something special about distant thunder. It doesn't startle, it doesn't rush. It arrives when it's ready, slow and sure, like a memory echoing through the sky. Thunder, as we know, is the sound of lightning's path, the air expanding rapidly after being heated to extreme temperatures. But sound travels far more slowly than light. So, when we see a flash, and then wait and wait, the pause becomes part of the experience. That waiting is the breath of the storm, and it's also a measurement. There's a simple, gentle rhythm you can follow to count the miles between you and the lightning. After a flash, begin to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For every 5 seconds between lightning and thunder, the storm is about 1 mile away. It's not exact, but it's comforting, like learning the sky's footsteps. The longer the pause, the farther away the storm, and as the seconds stretch, the thunder becomes rounder, deeper. No longer a sharp crack, but a mellow rumble, like a voice calling from across a canyon. You might feel it more than hear it. A vibration in the floor, a tremble in the chest, a reminder that the atmosphere is always speaking. When thunder is very far away, it takes on a muted softness. You may hear it as a low, velvety sound, almost blending with the wind. Other times, it may seem to roll endlessly, bouncing from hill to hill, wrapping itself around trees and buildings before arriving at your ears. This is sky acoustics, shaped by temperature, terrain, and air. Cool air helps carry sound farther. Open spaces let it roam freely. That's why thunder in the mountains sounds different than thunder near the sea. Each landscape gives it its own voice. In the quiet of night, distant thunder feels like time slowing down. You don't brace for it. You welcome it. It wraps around you gently, like a lullaby sung by clouds. It's the perfect companion for sleep, steady, rhythmic, ancient. Some people record these sounds, letting the natural thunder rolls lull them to rest. No music, no melody, just the patient voice of the sky. So next time you hear thunder in the distance, don't rush to count unless you want to. Let it be a presence. Let it remind you that storms, even when far away, are part of the living breath of the atmosphere. They speak in pulses, they echo in waves, and they give us space to feel the quiet in between. Tonight, as you drift, let the thunder be soft footsteps in your dreams. You are safe here, warm and listening, while the sky tells its stories. Far across the wide and open plains, a storm begins to turn. Not all thunderstorms are the same. Some build up and fade quickly, drifting along like passing thoughts. But a few grow larger, stronger, and stranger. They begin to rotate. These are called supercells, the spinning engines of the atmosphere. Majestic, towering, patient. A supercell is a thunderstorm that rotates steadily from within, creating a deep, organized swirl called a mesocyclone. It is this slow, powerful spin, invisible to the eye but felt by the wind, that sets a supercell apart from all other storm types. From the outside, you might not see the rotation right away. The storm may look like a dark, massive cloud rising from the earth, but beneath its surface, air is moving in wide, elegant circles. Warm air rising in a column, cool air descending around it, creating a slow spin that can last for hours. Supercells form when conditions in the sky are just right. Warm, moist air near the surface. Cool, dry air higher up, and wind shear. That is, wind changing direction and speed with height. These ingredients come together and begin to tilt the updraft, allowing the storm to stay organized. While many storms collapse under their own weight, a supercell sustains itself, growing taller and stronger, like a spiral reaching for the heavens. High above, the top of the cloud spreads wide into an anvil. Below, the storm's base begins to lower. You might see a rain-free zone near the center, a calm eye surrounded by rain and wind. This is the mesocyclone's domain, where rotation is strongest. Those supercells can produce hail, heavy rain, or even tornadoes. Tonight, we will not chase them. We simply observe, gently, from a peaceful distance. Let us imagine it now. You're lying in tall grass. The air is warm, but a subtle wind begins to spin around you. In the distance, a cloud towers, silent, immense. Its edges ripple with motion. It doesn't rush, it turns. Birds have already quieted. The light is golden, the breeze uncertain. You are watching the atmosphere express itself in full, powerful, yet composed. And even here, there is rhythm. Supercells move with slow grace. They may travel for hundreds of miles, feeding off the warm air ahead of them, trailing rain and wind behind. But their shape stays steady, their rotation holding them together like a dancer's balance. Radar images show them clearly, bright red spirals, strong and unmistakable. But out here, in the quiet of the field, all you feel is the pulse of a living sky. The supercell is not chaos. It is orchestration, a storm holding its form, an engine made of air and time. Let yourself breathe with it now. Inhale like the warm air rising. Exhale like the cool downdraft settling down. You're beneath the slow spin of the plains, and the sky is turning, just for a while, in perfect, gentle motion. Have you ever felt the wind change before the rain? Not a breeze, but a sudden, sweeping breath across the land. Cooler than before, stronger, purposeful. This is the gust front, the quiet messenger of the storm. As a thunderstorm matures, it begins to release rain. And with that rain comes something else. Cold air, falling fast from the towering clouds above. This downward surge is known as a downdraft. When it hits the ground, it spreads out in all directions, like ripples in a pond. That spreading air is the gust front. It moves ahead of the rain, often arriving minutes before the first drop. A leading edge, like the exhale of the storm. To feel it is to sense change. You might notice a shift in sound, leaves rustling, wind chimes stirring. The air temperature drops slightly. The scent of dust or earth may rise. It's not yet raining, but the storm has arrived in spirit. Sometimes the gust front is visible, forming a dramatic shelf cloud that rolls low across the sky like a great curling wave. The air beneath it is cool and fast-moving, lifting dust, shaking grass, brushing across your arms with invisible fingers. This shelf cloud is not dangerous on its own. It's simply the visible edge of change, where warm and cool air meet, and the sky rearranges itself. Imagine sitting on a porch as it arrives. The day has been warm, the birds have gone quiet. Then, the wind picks up. It's cooler now, sweeter. It carries the scent of rain, even before rain has fallen. The trees lean gently into the breeze. Curtains shift. Windows creak. It is the breath before the lullaby, the front edge of something soothing. In meteorology, gust fronts help shape storms. As they spread outward, they can lift warm air ahead of them, helping to form new clouds, or even new storms. This is how a single storm can give birth to others, not through force, but through motion, through the graceful push of air meeting air. To the eye, it might seem like the storm is reaching out to touch the land, but to the wind, it is simply balance, warm and cool sharing space. You are there, beneath it, breathing in the shift, listening to the hush that follows, letting the wind tell you a story older than words. The gust front never lingers. It sweeps by, then softens. Behind it, the rain begins. But for a few moments, you stood at the threshold, where the storm knocked, softly, before stepping inside. Let that wind move through you now. Let it carry your thoughts away. You are safe, you are grounded, and the cool wind is just passing through. Imagine the ocean, not on the earth, but above it, a vast wave, rising and curling in the sky. Not water, but air and mist and motion. This is the shelf cloud, a rolling wave in the atmosphere, carried on the breath of a storm. Shelf clouds form along the leading edge of thunderstorms, where warm air rises quickly over the outflow of cool air rushing ahead of the rain. That boundary, the gust front, acts like a moving wedge, lifting moisture upward. And as the warm, moist air rises and cools, a dramatic cloud begins to take shape. From a distance, it can look like a rolling wall of cloud stretching wide across the horizon. The base is often low and dark, with a long, horizontal structure that appears to move as one piece. Its front edge curls downward, while the top billows and lifts. A wave caught mid-break, frozen in slow motion. You may see it on a summer evening, just before the rain arrives. The sky darkens gradually, the light turns golden, and then, rising from the horizon, a shelf cloud glides forward, silent, smooth, and sure. There's no need for alarm here. Though the cloud may look imposing, it is not a storm by itself. It is the visible boundary between air masses, a soft seam where warm and cool meet and swirl. As it approaches, you might feel the wind pick up. The air grows cooler, leaves rustle, wind chimes begin to sing. It is the atmosphere shifting gently, preparing for the rain to follow. In motion, the shelf cloud can seem alive. Its leading edge may undulate, as if breathing. Tendrils of cloud may reach downward or curl sideways, tracing the path of the lifting air beneath. All of it moves slowly, as if the sky is stretching or yawning or turning in sleep. Sometimes, the shelf cloud connects to a larger thunderstorm, stretching out from beneath a tall cumulonimbus. Other times, it travels on its own, ahead of a line of storms, like a herald or a curtain being drawn. From below, standing beneath it, the world feels hushed. The sun fades behind the rolling mass. Everything quiets, waiting. And then the rain begins. But here, in this chapter, we pause before the rain. We lie back and watch the slow arrival of the shelf cloud, the sky's wave, moving shoreward on currents of air. It's easy to imagine the sky as an ocean, and the shelf cloud, a tide returning home. Let it roll over your thoughts. Let it carry you inward. You are drifting now, not on water, but on air, on the soft, shadowed curl of a cloud passing overhead. And soon it will be behind you, leaving only stillness in its wake. High above the fields and rooftops, a mountain grows. It begins slowly, with warmth. Moist air near the surface begins to rise, carried upward by the heat of the day. As it climbs, the air cools and condenses, forming the first wisps of cloud. But this cloud does not stay small. It builds, layer by layer, upward and outward. What was once a puffy white form becomes a towering mass, reaching higher than any mountain made of stone. These are thunderstorm towers, immense vertical structures of cloud, also known as cumulonimbus calvus, when their tops are still smooth and rounded. With enough energy, they grow further, developing into cumulonimbus capillatus, their tops spreading into wispy, icy textures, like unraveling threads of silk. From the ground, you might see it as a slow bloom, a vertical garden made of vapor. It climbs with strength, yet moves with grace. Not a rush, but a rise, steady, expansive, quietly magnificent. These towers can stretch over 10 miles high, extending through the troposphere, and sometimes even brushing the edge of the stratosphere. Inside, powerful updrafts carry air, moisture, and energy skyward at speeds faster than a human sprint. You are watching the sky sculpt itself into a mountain of air. If you've ever seen one in the late afternoon, lit by golden sunlight, you know the beauty of it. The sides shimmer, The shadows deepen in their folds. The top glows white against blue. There's nothing else quite like it. And yet, it's all just air in motion, water droplets and ice crystals, held aloft by the invisible hand of rising heat. Inside the tower, something else is happening. Tiny collisions, droplets bumping into droplets, crystals brushing past one another, build static charge. This is how the storm prepares for lightning. But from the outside, we see only a grand column, rising, breathing, dreaming. You may hear distant thunder. You may feel the breeze begin to shift. But for now, the tower stands tall, the silent centerpiece of a sky in motion. Pilots call them sky mountains, and with good reason. These clouds must be avoided, respected, flown around. Their power is immense. But here, in our quiet evening story, we are not flying into the heart of the storm. We are watching from below in wonder. There is something eternal in their rise, like watching time build upward, like watching breath take shape. Let your thoughts rise with them now. Let them lift slowly, calmly, into the high places. Let the tower carry you, not in urgency, but in peace. You are beneath a mountain made of sky. And for now, it is simply there, tall and still, holding the quiet strength of the storm before the storm. You're looking out across a sleeping landscape. The night is warm, the air still, and then a flash, a pale flicker, quiet, quick, illuminates the horizon. It glows behind the clouds like a lantern behind silk. But no thunder follows. This is lightning without thunder, a silent signal from far away. It's often called heat lightning, though the name is a bit misleading. It doesn't come from heat alone, and it's not a special kind of lightning. It's the same lightning that crackles through any summer storm. It's just too far away for the sound to reach you. You see, light travels faster and farther than sound. A lightning flash can be seen from up to 100 miles away on a clear night, especially when there are no hills or buildings to block the view. But thunder, which travels through air in rippling waves, tends to fade out after about 10 to 15 miles, depending on conditions. So you're witnessing a storm, but from a distance, you're catching its silent heartbeat, a flicker, a flare without its voice. It's a peaceful thing, really, to see the sky light up without the loudness, to witness power in its quietest form. The clouds may pulse with light, glowing briefly, like a dream beneath the stars. You might see brief outlines of their shape, the curve of a distant cumulonimbus, the layered edges of anvil-topped towers. The lightning may be intracloud, dancing within the clouds, not reaching the ground at all, creating soft flashes, like the sky is turning over in its sleep. On warm summer nights, these silent flashes can be rhythmic, like the distant flicker of a lighthouse, or the slow blink of a firefly high in the sky. And though we sometimes use the name heat lightning, there's no special heat involved. The warmth of the evening doesn't create the lightning directly. It simply allows the viewing conditions to be perfect. The air is often clearer at night, and the contrast between darkness and flash makes each blink more visible, more magical. These flashes can even reflect off the bases of clouds, lighting them from within like distant paper lanterns. Sometimes you might see multiple in a row, a brief strobe in the sky, followed again by silence. And that silence is part of the calm. There is no pressure to measure, no need to prepare. The storm is far away, the light is soft, and you are safe, watching from your quiet place. Perhaps you're lying on your back now. A window cracked open, the night breeze slow and sweet. Above you, the sky whispers in flashes. Messages sent in light alone. Let them pass across your ceiling. Let them flicker behind your eyes. No sound, no urgency, just light, arriving like a thought you almost remembered. You don't need the thunder. The flash is enough. It's the sky telling you, I'm here, and I'm resting too. There's something in the air, a scent, faint, familiar, a signal that the weather is shifting. You've smelled it before, just before the rain arrives on a hot afternoon. It's earthy, sweet, a little metallic, a perfume made by the meeting of sun and storm. This is the scent of a summer storm approaching. Part of what you're smelling is petrichor, a lovely word for the earthy aroma that rises from dry ground when rain first touches it. But even before the rain arrives, the scent begins to build. As a storm approaches, the atmosphere starts to stir. Winds shift, often picking up slightly. They carry with them the subtle compounds released from plants, soil, and stones that have been warmed all day by the sun. Some of these compounds, oils left behind by grasses and trees, linger in the dust. When humidity increases and the breeze picks up, those oils become airborne. You can smell them, soft and woody, like dry leaves or warm soil. There's another contributor too, a sharper, cooler note. This comes from ozone. Ozone is created during thunderstorms, often from lightning activity higher up in the clouds. When lightning splits apart molecules in the air, it sets off chemical reactions that create ozone, a gas with a clean, slightly sharp scent, like chlorine or fresh air after a storm. This ozone is swept downward by the gust front, the cool breeze that leads the storm. And when it reaches you, it feels like the storm is saying, I'm on my way. The smell of a summer storm is more than chemistry. It's memory too. It may take you back to porch swings and screen doors, to childhood, afternoons when the sky darkened just after lunch, to moments of quiet before the rainfall whispered on rooftops. It's the scent of pause, of expectation, of something ancient and renewing. The world holds its breath. Insects still, birds hush. The light changes slightly, a golden glow giving way to silver blue. And then that scent arrives. Not overwhelming, just enough to notice, like the first note of a song, or the scent of lavender on a breeze. You breathe it in, and with it, calm arrives. The storm is still distant, but it has begun its soft descent. The scent tells you, the ground will be cooled, the air will be cleaned, the sky is preparing a lullaby in drops and wind. So rest here, in this moment before the rain. Let the scent wrap around you like a warm shawl. Let it stir your thoughts, then quiet them. The storm is coming. But first, this fragrance, this promise in the air. After the storm has passed, when the sky is still heavy with cloud and the wind has quieted, sometimes something extraordinary appears overhead. Suspended from the base of the cloud are soft, rounded pouches. They hang like lanterns in a twilight sky. These are mammatus clouds, the gentle, bulging underbellies of a retreating storm. The name mammatus comes from the Latin for udder or breast, a soft, anatomical word for a soft, atmospheric shape. And though their appearance may seem unusual or even mysterious, they are part of nature's elegant exhale after powerful weather. Mammatus clouds form beneath anvil-shaped cumulonimbus clouds, those tall, sprawling thunderheads that often bring lightning, rain, and wind. But while most clouds grow upward, mammatus drift downward, in gentle lobes that look like bubbles, lanterns, or cotton-filled pouches. They are made not of something new, but of the same moisture that formed the parent cloud above. What makes them distinct is motion, sinking air, rather than rising, as rain-cooled air begins. To descend through the cloud's base, it brings moisture with it. That moisture condenses and evaporates simultaneously, creating a play of shadows and light, and forming these smooth, bulbous shapes. They hang there, quiet and still, like nature is releasing a breath it held during the storm. Sometimes, mammoths stretch across the whole sky, a ceiling of soft, sculpted pouches. Other times, they appear only in patches, small clusters of sky lanterns glowing in the fading light. If the sun is low during sunset or sunrise, the mammoths may be lit from below, glowing orange, pink, or gold against the darker cloud above. They look like a chandelier made of mist, a sky turned upside down. There's no need for alarm in their presence. Mammoths clouds do not signal danger. In fact, they often arrive after the worst has passed. They are the afterword of the storm story, the quiet visual echo of energy once moving with force. And while they can appear dramatic, they are simply a natural balance of warm and cool, rising and falling, gravity working gently on air and moisture. Imagine lying in a field after the rain, the grass still damp, the air freshly cooled. Above you, the sky is decorated with gentle pouches of cloud, like lanterns in a vast, soft cathedral. You are resting beneath the calm that follows motion. You are part of the exhale, so let your thoughts descend, like the air that shaped them. Let them round into softness. Let them hang lightly in your mind. Tonight, you are lying beneath a sky filled with lanterns. The storm has passed, and this is what peace looks like, painted in cloud. A storm rolls in. Lightning flashes, bright and fast, and sometimes it finds a tree. Why does it choose the tree? Why not the grass, or the road, or the sky itself? The answer lies in height, moisture, and connection. Trees, by their very nature, stretch upward. They reach into the sky, tall, strong, and often alone in open spaces. This makes them natural conductors, drawing the attention of lightning as it seeks a path to the ground. Lightning is not just random chaos in the clouds. It is electrical energy, moving from areas of high negative charge in the storm, seeking to balance itself by connecting with positive charges, often found on the earth below. But lightning cannot simply jump to the ground on its own. It needs a bridge, something that connects sky to soil. Tall objects like trees, towers, or buildings provide a shorter path for lightning to travel. The higher the object, the less distance lightning must cross. So, trees become targets, not because they call lightning, but because they stand closest to it. There's something else too. Trees are full of moisture. Inside their trunks and branches, water flows through delicate vessels, moving nutrients, feeding leaves, carrying life. But when lightning, hotter than the surface of the sun, enters that trunk, that moisture instantly vaporizes. The sudden expansion can cause the bark to split or even explode. It happens quickly, but from a distance, you may only see a flash and then silence. Sometimes, trees survive a lightning strike, scarred but still standing. Other times, they fall. But always, they remind us of the quiet power of connection, of being a bridge between two worlds, sky and earth. It's not just tall trees, either. Isolated ones are more vulnerable. A lone tree in a field, a pine on a hilltop, a maple standing quietly in a park. Their solitude makes them more likely to become lightning's landing place. That's why, during a storm, we're told not to shelter under a tree, because that tree lovely as it is, may become the sky's chosen path. But here, in our quiet corner of the night, we aren't standing beneath any trees. We're only watching, from somewhere safe and still. Imagine a storm in the distance now, a field of trees swaying, the wind carrying, the scent of bark and rain. And one flash, brief, brilliant, finds its way to a tree. A moment of connection, then calm again. The tree is not to blame. It simply stood tall, and the sky found it. So tonight, honor the trees, those silent sentinels of the storm. Tall enough to touch the sky, rooted deep enough to hold the earth, bridging worlds we only dream of. And let your thoughts stand quietly with them, still, steady and open should the sky come calling. In the heart of some storms, there is a quiet, a space of stillness wrapped in layers of motion. Though we often associate eyes with hurricanes, those vast spinning tempests over the ocean, thunderstorms too, can form a kind of calm center, a gentle pause within their structure. It isn't always obvious, it isn't always seen, but within the complexity of a mature thunderstorm, especially one that rotates, there can exist a place where the wind eases, where the rain fades, where the storm breathes in. This is sometimes called the storm's core, or in some rare cases, a mesocyclone center, a pocket of relatively calm air tucked inside a churning system. In certain types of supercell thunderstorms, a low-pressure center forms aloft, and inside that center, the rotation helps balance the inflow and outflow of air. The result is a zone where the turbulence lessens, a momentary equilibrium between forces that usually pull and push and swirl. From above, a pilot may glimpse it, a hollowed-out middle in the cloud, surrounded by spirals and walls of vapor. From within, if you were somehow safe inside it, you might notice a break in the rain, a quiet, eerie stillness, the wind softening, the clouds curving around you in a slow, circular ballet. There is no thunder here, no lightning, just a breath. It is not a place of danger, nor of safety. It is a transition, a moment within the storm where pressure and motion align. Imagine yourself in such a place now. You're walking through the rain. It taps gently on leaves and grass. And then, almost suddenly, it stops. Not because the storm has ended, but because you've entered its quiet center. A ring of cloud surrounds you. Birds are quiet. Even the trees seem to lean in, listening. Above you, the storm is still alive. But here, in the calm, you are wrapped in stillness. Not forgotten by the storm, but held within it. This pause, this eye, is a reminder. Even in motion, even in energy and thunder and skyfire, there is always a center, a core of quiet, a breath between the beats. Let this be your center tonight. Let your thoughts spiral around you gently, while your mind rests in the middle, unmoved, still, safe. You are in the eye now, and the storm is only passing by. Out on the open plains, where sky meets earth with no interruption, storms do not simply arrive. They move, they wander, they gather, they separate, they dance. These are storm cells, compact, self-contained convective systems, each one a performer in the sky's quiet ballet. Unlike sprawling storm lines or massive weather systems, storm cells are smaller, more agile. Each has its own life cycle, beginning, blooming, and fading with elegant rhythm. They rise from warm, sunlit ground, where moisture and heat begin to lift. A single cloud forms, grows, and if the conditions are right, becomes a thunderstorm cell. Within the cell, air rises quickly, an updraft, pulling vapor high into the atmosphere, where it cools and condenses into towering clouds. Raindrops begin to form, then a downdraft develops, cooler air sinking back toward the earth, carrying rain, sometimes hail, sometimes wind. The cell peaks, and then, softly, it begins to collapse. But while one fades, another begins. Across the plains, you might see them scattered, like lanterns placed on the horizon, each one flickering in its own way, illuminated from within by flashes of lightning. Some drift together, forming clusters, known as multi-cell storms, each part born from the gust front of the one before it. A storm giving rise to another, like dancers passing the lead. Others remain solitary, drifting slowly across grasslands, casting shadows over wheat and wildflower. From above, they look like islands in a sea of air. From below, they look like slow-moving sculptures, silent until they speak with thunder. There's a kind of poetry in their path. The way they appear, move with grace, then vanish again, leaving behind only damp soil and the scent of ozone. No storm cell is exactly like another. Each forms under slightly different skies, at different times, with different layers of air. And yet, together, they tell the story of the atmosphere in motion. Imagine lying in a field, the tall grass brushing your arms, as one cell drifts eastward. Then another forms behind it. You watch them roll by, dark and bright, active and fading. There is no rush, no worry, just sky shapes passing like thoughts in meditation. Tonight, let these storm cells be your rhythm. Let their rise and fall guide your breath. Inhale with the updraft, exhale with the rain. Rest in the space between them. You are lying beneath the dancers of the sky, and their performance is just for you. Have you ever felt a spark, a tiny jolt when you touch a doorknob, a flicker when your hand brushes a sweater? That's static electricity, and the sky feels it too. In fact, every thunderstorm begins with a quiet, invisible buildup of static charge. Static electricity is a form of energy, tiny imbalances between positive and negative particles. It can build up in your clothes, in your hair, or in the soles of your shoes as you shuffle across a rug. In the atmosphere, though, static is shaped by air and motion, water and ice. It lives in the clouds, especially towering thunderheads, where droplets and crystals collide in a swirling sky. As warm air rises and cool air sinks, they stir the contents of the cloud. Raindrops and ice grains bump and brush against one another, passing bits of electrical charge. The result is a separation. Positive charges drift upward, while negative charges settle lower. This creates potential, a quiet tension between layers. The sky becomes a kind of battery, charged and waiting. You can't see it happening, but the atmosphere begins to hum. This static charge isn't loud, it's not violent, it's subtle, a whisper of imbalance waiting for release. Sometimes you can feel it before a storm. Your hair lifts slightly. A metal fence tingles at the touch. Air feels more alive. That's the presence of static fields, reaching out. In the sky, when the difference in charge becomes strong enough, something extraordinary happens. The cloud seeks balance and sends out a spark. Not a small one like your sweaters, a massive one, stretching across miles of sky. That spark becomes lightning. But it all began with static, a gentle gathering of charge, one particle at a time. Even without a storm, the Earth has a natural electric field. It flows from sky to soil, day and night. It is faint, something you would never notice, but it is always there, part of the quiet current of the planet. So, when you shuffle your feet and touch something metal and feel that tiny crackle, you're not so different from the clouds. You're building and releasing energy, just like the sky does on a larger scale. And tonight, as you rest, imagine that process unfolding above. Tiny particles exchanging charge, clouds becoming more than vapor, becoming charged with purpose. You're lying beneath an atmosphere that is always in motion, always shifting, always balancing itself. There's no rush in the process, only patience, only potential. Let yourself become still, like the sky before it sparks. Let your thoughts float upward, light as static on the wind. And know that every storm, every flash, every echo of thunder began with something as small as a single grain of charge. It comes and goes in a heartbeat, a blinding streak, a jagged thread of light across the sky. Lightning, for all its speed, for all its flash, what's most astonishing is how hot it is. A bolt of lightning can reach temperatures of 30,000 degrees Celsius. That's 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Yes, the glowing orb that warms our days burns at around 6,000 degrees. And lightning, in its brief electric pulse, surpasses that many times over. But how can something so quick hold so much heat? It begins with pressure and charge. As static electricity builds in the cloud, a narrow path of ionized air begins to form, called a stepped leader. This invisible path reaches down in steps, seeking the ground. When it finds a match, a rising streamer from earth or tree or rooftop, the connection is made. And in that moment, a return stroke of energy surges upward through the path at astonishing speed. That return stroke is the lightning bolt we see. And in that instant, the air around it is superheated. Faster than you can blink, the temperature soars, expanding the air violently outward. This is what causes thunder, the sound of heated air bursting into motion. The bolt itself lasts only microseconds, but the heat it carries is tremendous, enough to fuse sand into glass, enough to set trees aflame, enough to split the sky in glowing veins. Yet for all that power, lightning is also incredibly narrow, only about the width of a thumb. All that heat, all that energy, channeled through a slender ribbon of light. From a safe distance, it is mesmerizing. You might see it fork from cloud to cloud, or branch like coral toward the earth. Each flash unique, each bolt a new path, traced through layers of charge and silence. And though it's hotter than the sun, we are safe watching it from afar, behind a window, beneath a roof, wrapped in quiet. Lightning doesn't linger. It arrives, it lights, it vanishes, but its heat reshapes the air, reminds us of the force hidden in the sky. So tonight, as you rest beneath soft blankets and distant stars, let lightning be a thought, brief, bright, and warm, a line of fire drawn in the air, a sunbeam wrapped in cloud, and let yourself cool gently, like the air after a storm. You are safe, you are still, the sky has flashed, and now it sleeps again. It's late, the world is quiet, the snow is falling, gently, steadily, a blanket softening everything it touches. And then a flash, followed by the deep, rolling voice of thunder. It's unexpected, striking, a contradiction of sensations. This is thundersnow, a rare and beautiful phenomenon where winter meets electricity and silence gives way to skyfire. Normally, we associate thunderstorms with warm air, rising moisture, and summer afternoons. But sometimes, even in the heart of winter, the atmosphere aligns in just the right way. It begins with a strong upward motion, rising air that carries snowflakes high into the sky. In this case, the clouds are cold, filled not just with moisture, but with ice crystals and supercooled droplets. These elements collide within the cloud, creating the same kind of charge separation that fuels a summer lightning bolt. Negative charges sink, positive charges rise, and in time, the imbalance grows strong enough to send out a spark. Lightning, born in the heart of a snowstorm. Thunder, echoing across frozen fields and icy rooftops. What makes thunder snow special is not just that it's rare, but that it feels different. The snow absorbs sound, so the thunder is often muffled, closer, deeper, more like a rumble from underground than a crack from above. And the flash of lightning is brighter because it reflects off billions of snowflakes, each one catching a flicker of light and scattering it softly through the falling snow. The world glows for a heartbeat, then returns to its hush. Thunder now often occurs near strong winter fronts or within intense snow bands, especially in lake-effect storms or nor'easters. But even then, it's rare, a sky event seen only a few times in a lifetime. Some say it feels surreal, others say magical. And if you ever find yourself wrapped in a heavy winter coat, watching flakes drift through a quiet sky, only to see it illuminated by a sudden bolt, you'll know the feeling. You've been touched by a weather paradox, cold and fire, silence and sound. Tonight, we remember that not all storms are loud or wet or wild. Some fall softly and still hold lightning inside them. Let your thoughts drift now, like snow in a windless sky. Let them glow briefly, then settle again. The sky is cold, but the storm is still alive. Storms often bloom beneath the sun, heat rising from roads and fields, feeding the clouds from below. But sometimes, when the world has cooled, when the sky has gone dark, a storm is just beginning. Why do some storms form at night? The answer lies in the quiet work of the atmosphere, a place that never truly sleeps. During the day, the sun heats the Earth's surface, and that warmth rises into the sky. But even after sunset, the air above remains layered, and in some cases, even more unstable. At night, the ground cools quickly, but the air aloft can stay warm. This creates a temperature contrast that invites movement. Warm air wants to rise. Cool air wants to sink. The atmosphere begins to breathe. Storms that form at night often develop within low-level jets, fast-moving rivers of air just above the surface. These jets carry moisture and energy, gathering storm ingredients under cover of stars. Because the ground is cooler, storms don't always appear from thin clouds. Instead, they emerge from existing systems, clusters of storms from earlier in the day that reorganize, shift, and rebuild as night falls. In the Great Plains of the United States, this pattern is common. Storms that weaken at dusk may suddenly intensify after dark, their cells fed by upper-level winds and the quiet stability of the nighttime air. You may hear them approach, the low rumble of thunder in your sleep, soft rain tapping at your windows, the pulse of lightning behind your curtains. There is something gentler about nighttime storms. They are rarely sudden. They unfold slowly, moving like thoughts across a sleeping mind. Their lightning might be more frequent, less about strikes, more about flickers, strobing across the sky like slow breaths. And their thunder, though deep, tends to roll low, long, like waves in a dreaming ocean. Nighttime storms aren't strange, they're simply quieter. The sun does not command all weather. The sky has its own rhythm, a cycle of energy and rest, warmth and motion. So, when a storm blooms in the night, let it pass through you like a lullaby carried by the wind. You don't need to see the clouds. You don't need to count the flashes. You only need to listen and breathe. The storm is working gently now, and the night is part of its song. High above the earth, within the cold and swirling heart of a thunderstorm, something surprising begins to form. Not lightning, not rain, but ice. Falling, rising, falling again. This is the story of hail, a small miracle of motion and temperature, sculpted by the sky. Hail begins with a raindrop, or sometimes a tiny particle of dust or ice, floating within a towering cumulonimbus cloud. But this cloud is no ordinary one. It stretches deep into the upper atmosphere, where air turns thin and temperatures drop well below freezing. Inside the cloud, strong updrafts, powerful columns of rising air, pull the tiny droplet upward, lifting it higher and higher into the coldest regions. There it freezes, and now it is no longer a droplet, but a tiny pellet of ice. As it drifts through the cloud, it encounters supercooled water droplets, liquid water, suspended below freezing. When these droplets touch the ice pellet, they freeze instantly, layer upon layer. The hailstone begins to grow. Updrafts may lift it again, carrying it back towards the top of the storm, only to let it fall once more, then rise again. A cycle of rising and sinking, each pass adding another icy coat. Some hailstones make this journey many times. Each loop is like a breath, up and down, warm to cold. They grow rounder, heavier, each new layer like a ring of memory frozen in time. Eventually, the hailstone becomes too heavy. The updraft can no longer hold it, and so it begins its descent, falling through the rain, sometimes melting a little on the way, sometimes arriving at the ground still whole, a cold gift from the sky. Hailstones can vary in size, some as small as peas, others as large as golf balls or more. But even the smallest piece tells the same story, a journey through wind and cloud, a sculpture shaped by motion. You may have heard hail tapping on windows, bouncing in the grass, or collecting in quiet, piles on porches and sidewalks. In those moments, the sky is telling you, I've been busy, up high, shaping ice in silence. Now I've let it go. Not every storm creates hail. It takes just the right ingredients, strong updrafts, tall clouds, cold upper layers, and steady motion. But when it does happen, it's not violent. It's just another expression of the storm's design. A snowflake is soft, a raindrop is smooth, a hailstone is layered, solid, and deliberate. Tonight, as you rest, you can imagine them, those tiny seeds of ice, rising, falling, rising again, held gently by invisible hands. You are safe, you are warm, and above you, the sky shapes its quiet sculptures, then lets them fall, just as softly as sleep itself. Some storms whisper, some rumble, and some begin to spin, not wildly, not all at once, but slowly, subtly, a rotation forming within the storm, like a spiral turning in its sleep. This is how tornadoes are born, from the deep, organized energy of a Meteorology supercell thunderstorm. Not every storm creates one, but when the balance of ingredients is just right, the sky begins to twist. It starts with wind shear, winds that blow at different speeds and directions at different levels of the atmosphere. These layers create horizontal rotation, invisible at first, like a tube of spinning air lying on its side. Then comes the updraft, rising air within the thunderstorm. As it lifts, it tilts that horizontal spin vertically, and now the storm is breathing with a slow, internal spiral. This rotating updraft is called a mesocyclone, the heart of a supercell. A column of air, broad at the top, tightening toward the middle. And if that spin reaches downward, if it concentrates, narrows, and stretches toward the earth, a tornado may form. Not with a roar, but with a slow descent, a funnel lowering from cloud to soil. From a distance, it may look like a pale ribbon, a finger of cloud reaching down. Some stay aloft, never touching ground. Others descend, swirling dust, dancing across fields, marking a delicate yet powerful path. In this moment, the storm has found a center, a tight spiral of motion, focused, defined, brief. Tornadoes come in many forms, some wide and dark, others thin and ghost-like, but all are shaped by contrast, rising warmth, sinking cool, shear and spin, pressure and balance. Their time is short, most last only minutes. Then the spiral unwinds, the funnel lifts, and the storm continues on. And though we often speak of tornadoes with urgency, here we are far away. We are not chasing, we are observing. From our quiet vantage point, we see not danger, but design. We understand this is the sky seeking balance, creating order from its own momentum. Let your thoughts spiral now, softly, not fast. Let them swirl in widening circles, then fade. You are not inside the storm. You are outside, watching its motion, feeling its rhythm, letting it pass like a breath. And when the spiral ends, you'll still be here, still, quiet, safe beneath the turning sky. From far away, you see it, a gentle sheet hanging from the sky. Not solid, not harsh, just a curtain of rain, moving softly over the earth. This is the rain curtain, a delicate boundary between wet and dry, sun and shadow, motion and stillness. Unlike heavy downpours that blur everything at once, rain curtains appear as sheets of precipitation, falling in graceful streaks from clouds above. You can often see them approaching, swaying in the wind, shimmering in light, like a veil drawn slowly across the landscape. From a distance, they seem almost still, but step into one, and you'll feel the change. Cool droplets tapping gently, air shifting around you, light bending through moisture. These curtains are made from precipitation falling steadily, not in a rush, but with consistency. The drops vary in size, some as fine as mist, others fuller, all descending in concert from layered clouds above. As the curtain moves, it creates soft transitions, sunlight filtering through the falling rain, shadows stretching, colors deepening. Sometimes, when the angle is just right, you may even see a rainbow forming along the edge of the curtain, a prism caught in the falling veil. And if you're lucky enough to be close, you might see individual veins of rain, slanted slightly by the breeze, each one trailing like delicate threads from the sky. In some cases, as the rain curtain nears the ground, it begins to blur, turning into mist, a fine haze that hugs the earth, softening every shape and sound. Mist is made of tiny water droplets, suspended in air, not quite falling, not quite still. It's not the beginning of rain, but its quiet echo. You may see it drift across fields at dusk, or hang low over rivers and valleys after a summer storm. It brings a certain quiet with it, muffling footsteps, cooling the skin, making the world feel just a little farther away. Together, rain curtains and mist veils form a kind of choreography in the atmosphere, motion layered over stillness, water drawn downward in different forms, each one a gesture of release. Imagine now, you're standing beneath a wide sky. A rain curtain approaches. You see it long before you feel it. It drapes across the distant hills, advancing softly, leaving behind a glistening sheen on the land. And when it reaches you, the world changes. Sounds hush, light shifts, the mist curls gently around your ankles. You are inside the sky's veil, not apart from it, within it. So let the rain curtain close now. Let it quiet the room. Let it draw you inward, where your thoughts soften and everything becomes hushed. The rain will pass, the mist will rise, and you'll be resting beneath a sky woven with water. Sometimes storms stay far away. You don't feel their wind, you don't hear their thunder, but you see them, brushing the distant edge of the sky with light. This is the storm on the horizon, a quiet spectacle, a weather show you watch from afar. As day turns to night, the clouds gather somewhere in the distance. You may not know exactly how far they are, but you can see the occasional flicker, a brief, branching flash behind the clouds. Then stillness, and then again, another glow. The lightning comes without thunder. Its sound has faded by the time it reaches you, or the distance is simply too great. What remains is the light, pulsing gently behind the hills or across the plain, like a storm breathing. Sometimes this is called heat lightning, though the name is a misnomer. It isn't caused by heat, it's simply lightning too far away for its sound to follow. And because the air is often clear at night, especially after a warm day, you can see the flashes from far, far off. They look like slow blinks, as if the sky is turning a lamp on and off just beyond the curve of the world. These distant storms are peaceful companions. They illuminate the night without invading it. They tell you that the atmosphere is alive, just not here, not now, only out there, quietly working. You might see the clouds glow from within, backlit by lightning. Or you might catch brief forks of light, reaching sideways between cloud layers. Everything appears softened by distance. No wind stirs your curtains. No raindrops touch your skin. You are the observer, safe and still, watching from your quiet place. The horizon becomes a stage. The stars above remain clear, while the clouds below pulse with slow, silent light. There is no urgency, no warning, just a quiet rhythm in a faraway sky. And perhaps, as you lie in bed, that light becomes part of your own rhythm, a flicker behind your eyelids, a breath beneath your blanket, a lullaby sung in flashes instead of words. So, let the horizon glow and let the storm stay where it is. Far enough to be gentle, close enough to be seen. Tonight, the weather performs in the distance, just for you. No sound, no rain, only the soft heartbeat of a storm too, polite to come any closer. Some weather we can see, dark clouds gathering, raindrops on the window, a flash across the sky. But some things we cannot see at all. The swirl of wind inside a storm, the paths of raindrops and snowflakes, the breath of motion deep within a cloud. And yet, we have a way to watch these hidden things, a quiet way, one that listens, not with eyes, but with echoes. It's called Doppler radar. Radar begins with something simple, a pulse, a tiny burst of energy, sent from a dish or dome into the open air. That pulse travels outward at the speed of light, reaching into clouds, bouncing off raindrops, snowflakes, and hail, then returning to the radar dish, carrying information with it. It's like a soft call and response. Hello, I'm here. By measuring the time it takes for the echo to return, the radar knows how far away the object is. By analyzing the strength of that echo, it understands how heavy the rain is, or how thick the snow might be. But Doppler radar adds something special. It doesn't just tell us where, it tells us how things move. It uses the Doppler effect, a shift in frequency that happens when something moves toward or away from the observer. The same effect that changes the pitch of a passing train, or makes thunder rise and fall as it rolls. When raindrops are blown by wind, they slightly shift the returning radar signal. If they're moving toward the radar, the signal compresses. If they're moving away, it stretches. And from those tiny changes, we see the motion inside storms, invisible swirls, rotations, rivers of air too far and too fast for human sight. Doppler radar can detect the signs of forming tornadoes, straight-line winds, and waves of rain moving through the night. It's a silent painter, rendering storms in color and motion, so meteorologists can read the sky like a story. You've likely seen it, bright sweeps of green, yellow, and red on a weather map, each color a whisper, light. Rain, heavier rain, a storm's core. And though the radar sits quietly in a dome on a hillside or field, it listens to storms near and far, watching not with eyes, but with waves. Tonight, as you rest, imagine that dish turning slowly, sending out pulses, gathering echoes. It is not loud, it is not hurried, it is simply paying attention. Let your thoughts be like radar now, quiet pulses sent into the dark, returning softly with answers. You don't need to see it all. Some things, even in the sky, are best felt in the stillness, measured in motion, heard in the hush. Inside every thunderstorm, there is a quiet sorting happening, not of colors or shapes, but of charge, tiny bits of electricity, moving silently through vapor and ice. We don't see it at first. We only see the cloud, tall, rising, darkening, a soft tower in the sky. But deep within that cloud, something begins to build. As warm air rises and cools, it carries water droplets upward. Some freeze into ice, crystals. Others remain liquid, supercooled and waiting. These particles collide, falling, rising, brushing past one another in the swirling breath of the storm. And in those countless collisions, electrical charge is exchanged. Lighter ice crystals tend to gather positive charge, drifting upward with the rising air. Heavier graupel, small, soft hail, collect negative charge and fall lower in the cloud. Over time, this separation grows. A quiet tension, a cloud divided, positive at the top, negative at the base. The atmosphere does not like imbalance. It wants to connect, to restore harmony. And so, it prepares for a release. But before lightning ever strikes, before the thunder ever rolls, this charge builds invisibly, layered through the storm like quiet pressure. Sometimes, a second positive layer forms below the cloud or near the ground, a response to the gathering negative charge above. The earth itself begins to mirror the cloud, creating invisible fingers of charge that reach upward, waiting for the sky to reach down. When the difference becomes too great, the cloud answers, not in rage, but in release. Lightning connects those regions of charge, like drawing a thread between two hands. And then, a flash, a balance restored, if only for a moment. Inside the cloud, this process repeats again and again. Sometimes, the lightning never leaves the cloud, just moves between layers, flashing like a dream behind closed curtains. Other times, it stretches to the ground, bright and bold, carrying the weight of the storm's tension. But it all begins with the charge within the cloud, a slow gathering of energy, soft and patient, formed by movement and time. So, let your thoughts drift there now, to that floating cathedral of vapor and ice, where every flicker of light is born from something small, an invisible touch, a silent sorting, a storm waiting to exhale. You are safe beneath it, held in the still air, watching the sky charge itself with light you'll never fully see, but will always feel. Some storms build like symphonies, long, layered, dramatic, but others are brief. They rise, bloom, and fade in the time it takes to exhale. These are pulse storms, small, short-lived thunderstorms with flickering lives. They're born quickly, often in the heat of summer afternoons, when the sun warms the ground and the air above it begins to rise. There's no strong rotation, no sprawling system, just heat, moisture, and a gentle push upward. A cumulus cloud forms. It bubbles and grows, lifting higher into the sky, soft white turning to deep grey as the moisture thickens and cools. Inside, a strong updraft develops, carrying vapour into colder air. Droplets form. The cloud grows tall and textured, becoming a cumulonimbus. This is the pulse, a sudden burst of energy, rising quickly, like a spark catching. Then, the rain begins. A downdraft forms, cool air sinking through the cloud, bringing rain, sometimes wind, sometimes a single roll of thunder. But unlike longer-lived storms, the downdraft here works against the updraft. It cuts off the supply of rising warm air. And so, as quickly as it grew, the storm begins to fade. The cloud thins, the rain lightens, the thunder rolls away, and the sky begins to open once more. From start to finish, a pulse storm may last only 30 to 60 minutes. It is a storm with a single heartbeat, a rise, a release, a rest. These storms are common in the summertime, especially during late afternoons, when the air is warm and still. They often form in isolation, scattered like stepping stones across a quiet sky. From the ground, you might watch a single cloud rise, build into something darker, and then, moments later, fall back into softness, a breath exhaled by the sky. Pulse storms may bring brief downpours, even flashes of lightning, but they do not last long. They come not in crowds, but alone, individual weather moments. Tonight, let this storm be a mirror. Your thoughts may rise, they may grow, they may flicker with energy, but then they too can settle. Let them complete their pulse and fade like rain on a warm street. Short-lived, but meaningful. Some storms are not meant to linger. They're meant to pass through, quietly, beautifully, on their way to becoming blue sky again. Every storm has a story. It begins in stillness. It grows in motion. It ends in release. Like all things in nature, a storm follows a cycle, an elegant arc from beginning to end, as balanced and graceful as breath. It starts with lift, the rising of warm, moist air from the surface. This air ascends into cooler layers above, where the vapour begins to condense. Clouds form, a tower builds, a cumulus becomes cumulonimbus. This is the developing stage, a storm being born. Updrafts grow stronger, pulling moisture upward, feeding the cloud from below. Then comes the mature stage, the heart of the storm. Rain begins to fall. Cool air descends in a downdraft, pushing through the cloud, bringing thunder, gusts, and flickers of lightning. At this point, the storm is fully formed, alive, moving, pulsing with energy. And yet, even in its peak, the ending has already begun. As the downdraft strengthens, it begins to undercut the updraft, cutting off the warm air that fed the storm's rise. Without its source of lift, the storm starts to decay. The final stage is dissipation. The cloud flattens. Rain lightens to drizzle. Lightning fades. The air becomes still again. What once rose high now falls away, returning to quiet. This whole life cycle can happen in less than an hour for a small storm, or over many hours in a larger system. But the rhythm is the same. Birth in warmth, growth in motion, release in rain, rest in stillness. It is not chaotic. It is not random. It is beautifully structured, just like the tides, just like breathing. Imagine now that you are watching this cycle from a peaceful place, a field, a hillside, a Quiet window. You see the cloud begin. You feel the wind rise. You hear the soft roll of thunder. And then you watch it all fade, back into blue. Let your mind follow this pattern. Let your day's thoughts rise, gather and fall. Let them have their time, then let them pass. Storms do not stay forever. Even the strongest find their end. And when they do, they leave behind fresh air, softened skies, and a world ready for rest, just like you. Sometimes rain doesn't come and go. Sometimes it stays, not in a rush, not in a storm of drama, but in a steady rhythm, hour after hour, falling like a lullaby from the sky. These are storm trains, not locomotives with steel and whistles, but storms lined up like boxcars on a track, each one following the one before it, along the same path, bringing rain that seems to never end. Imagine a row of thunderstorms, each forming in the same place, each traveling the same route, over and over again, as if the atmosphere has laid down invisible rails and the storms simply follow. This setup is called training because the storms mimic train cars, linked by motion, guided by wind, and spaced just far enough apart to continue without pause. Training storms happen when moisture is abundant, air is unstable, and upper-level winds steer storms along a fixed corridor. Each storm forms, moves, and is replaced by the next, like dancers stepping onto a stage, one after the other, with no empty space in between. From the ground, you don't see the full chain, only the effect, long stretches of persistent rain, sometimes lasting the entire night. Raindrops tapping the window, puddles growing slowly, leaves bowing under the weight of water. There may be distant thunder now and then, but often storm trains bring more gentle consistency than intensity. Not a downpour and done, but a curtain of rain that never fully lifts. You might fall asleep to it, then wake and find it still falling. Soft, steady, patient. These storms are generous with moisture. They refill rivers and soak the soil. And in their rhythm, they bring a kind of meditation, a deep, slow breathing of the earth and sky. Of course, when too many storms train over one area, flooding can occur. But in this quiet retelling, we are far from danger. We are listening from a safe, dry place, wrapped in warmth, hearing only the soft percussion of rainfall. So tonight, let the storm train pass overhead. Let it carry your thoughts away in boxcars of rain and rumble. Each drop is a moment, each moment a memory the sky has chosen to release. You don't need to follow. You only need to rest as the storms roll gently by, carried along their nighttime track. There is a colour the sky sometimes wears just before the storm arrives. Not the usual grey or deep blue, but a strange, vivid green. It glows like sea glass, like light behind leaves, like a summer evening seen through tinted glass. It's a colour that feels unusual, otherworldly, as if the sky is holding its breath in an unfamiliar tone. But why does this happen? Why does the sky sometimes turn green before hail or heavy rain? The answer lies in light, and the way it filters through storm clouds just before or during severe weather. As a thunderstorm builds, its tall clouds, often stretching miles into the atmosphere, become dense with moisture, filled with rain, hail, and ice. These thick clouds begin to filter sunlight differently than usual. They absorb most colours, but allow shades of blue and green to scatter and emerge. When the sun is low in the sky, during late afternoon or early evening, its golden light mixes with the deep blue of the storm, and together they blend into a soft, eerie green. It doesn't happen with every storm. Only the tallest, those rich with ice or hail, tend to create the right mix of light and depth. Green skies are most common before or during severe thunderstorms, but they aren't a guarantee of danger. They are simply the result of sunlight meeting the storm's unique chemistry. From the ground, it can feel magical. You step outside and everything looks altered, like a dream layered over reality. Leaves seem darker, shadows soften, and the light takes on a quiet hum. There's a feeling of stillness, but not fear. Only the sense that something large is above you, filtering the world through a new lens. Many cultures have noticed this colour. Some treat it with awe, others with caution. But in our soft journey, we welcome it as atmospheric art, a sky painting itself in unexpected tones. Imagine now, you're lying in a room just before dusk, the blinds are open, and the light coming in is green-tinged, soft and slow. It wraps the walls in mossy hues. It makes the air feel quiet. No wind, not yet, just a sky waiting, lit from within. You are not alarmed. You are curious. You are still. Let the green glow be your gentle signal that the storm is near. Not in a rush, but arriving like a thought, at the edge of sleep. The colour may fade, the rain may fall, but tonight the sky chose green, and it chose to show it to you. Mountains are anchors, quiet giants resting on the earth, rising slowly into the sky. But when storms come to visit them, something curious happens. The sky rises too. As winds meet a mountain range, they have nowhere else to go but up. This is called orographic lift, a gentle but powerful process where air is pushed upward by the land itself. As the air ascends the mountainside, it cools, and the moisture it carries begins to condense, forming clouds, wisps first, then thicker, denser shapes that hug the peaks like scarves. If conditions are right, those clouds may grow taller, billowing into cumulonimbus towers, bringing thunderstorms to the high country. From below, it can seem as though the storm is blooming right from the summit. And in a way, it is. Mountains provide the lift. The sky provides the moisture. Together, they paint weather on a canvas of stone and wind. Thunderstorms over mountains can be dramatic, with echoes that bounce down valleys, and lightning that flashes across ridgelines. But they can also be tender, a slow mist curling over a tree line, a single, distant rumble that rolls across snowy slopes. The weather is different here, not better or worse, just shaped by elevation. Air is thinner, clouds form closer, raindrops fall more quickly, and storms, though brief, can be sudden and strong. Still, there is beauty in this vertical dance, in watching the clouds build directly above a peak, in feeling the air shift as the wind climbs beside you. And after the rain, there is clarity. The sky often clears quickly in the mountains. The air becomes crisp. Sunlight returns with golden precision, casting sharp shadows on moss and rock. Imagine now you're lying in a mountain meadow. Wildflowers sway around you. You hear the breeze before you see the clouds. They begin to gather, gracefully, steadily, overhead. A soft thunder pulses behind a ridge. The sky is rising, climbing the mountain with the storm. You don't feel alarmed. You feel connected to the rhythm, to the slope, to the sky above. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the terrain. Let them rise gently, cool, condense. Let them form and float, then drift back down in peace. Storms over mountains remind us, weather is not only above, sometimes it is within the land itself. And sometimes the earth helps the sky reach higher. Sometimes rain comes gently, a slow descent, a curtain falling one drop at a time. And other times it arrives all at once. This is a cloudburst, a sudden, intense release of rain, as if the sky has let go in a single breath. It may last only a few minutes, but in that time, it pours with the weight of hours. Cloudbursts often happen within strong thunderstorms, especially when a large amount of moisture is trapped in the cloud by a powerful updraft. That rising air keeps the rain suspended, droplets clustering, growing, waiting. Then suddenly, when the updraft weakens or shifts, the balance tips, and all that water falls, fast, heavily, in sheets. From the ground, you might see the rain coming before you hear it. A grey wall advancing, so dense it hides the landscape behind it. Then it hits. Raindrops so close together, they sound like applause on rooftops, like marbles on leaves. Sidewalks splash. Storm drains bubble. The world becomes a painting blurred by water. But cloudbursts are not dangerous by nature. They are simply concentrated release, the sky's way of clearing a sudden excess. Most last only 5 to 10 minutes, and then they fade. The air cools, the rain eases, the streets shine, and often the sun returns quickly, glinting off puddles, casting rainbows in the mist that remains. These bursts are most common in warm, humid climates, especially in the afternoons, when heat builds near the surface and creates tall, moisture-rich clouds. They are brief, intense, and deeply cleansing. Imagine now that you're sitting by a window and you've heard the first heavy drops. There's no warning, just the sound of sudden rain. The world outside shifts into motion, water dancing in every direction, but you're dry, safe, still. Let that downpour wash over your thoughts. Let it rush through, fast and full, then pass. You don't need to hold everything. You can release. You can let go, just as the sky does. Cloudbursts teach us that even sudden emotion, even heavy release, can be followed by quiet, by light, by a clearer sky. Let it rain now, briefly, beautifully, and then let it stop. The storm has passed. The rain has stopped. The clouds have thinned and begun to drift away. And now comes something quieter, something almost imperceptible. The soft hum after the rain. It's not one sound, really. It's many, layered together, subtle, faint, alive. You might hear the drip of water from rooftops and branches, each droplet parting from its perch, landing with a tiny echo, or the gentle rustle of wet leaves, stirred by a light returning breeze. The world is not silent, but it is hushed. The storm has wrung itself dry, and in its place is a kind of tonal stillness, a soft hum made of moisture, memory, and motion. Even the birds seem to return differently, their songs lighter, as if relieved. In the distance, gutters murmur, streams swell gently, and the air itself seems to hum, fresh and charged, washed clean of dust and noise. This post-rain atmosphere carries more than sound. It carries scent, that rich, earthy aroma we know as petrichor, rising again from warm soil, stone, and sidewalk. It carries kulth too, the feeling of air softened by rain, no longer dry or sharp, but plush, misted, full. And it carries light, sunlight diffused through breaking clouds, spilling into puddles, illuminating the world in quiet golds and blues. This is the moment when the sky takes a breath, not in anticipation, but in release. The tension of the storm has ebbed, and everything around you exhales together. Meteorologists often call this period the storm's dissipation, when downdrafts overtake updrafts, and the cloud begins to collapse in on itself. But outside the language of science, we simply call it calm, the kind of calm that comes after cleansing, the kind that soaks into the air and into you. Imagine now that you're outside, perhaps barefoot on a damp porch or sitting near a screened window. The world feels slowed, the sky is half lit, and every sound, every movement feels cradled by something invisible. This is the soft hum after the rain. It is not a song, it is not silence, it is the pause between. Let this be your resting place tonight, not the storm, not the sun, just the space after, where peace collects like water on a windowsill. Let the hush hold you, let the hum carry you. The storm has passed, and everything is quieter now. Lightning usually arrives in an instant, a flash too fast to follow. Here, then gone. A streak of light, a clap of thunder. But what if you could slow it down? What if lightning moved like a ribbon through the sky, unfolding frame by frame, each step visible, each motion full of intention? This is lightning in slow motion, not just a dream, but a reality revealed by science and stillness. When captured on high-speed cameras, lightning's secrets begin to show themselves. It doesn't flash all at once. It builds, beginning with a stepped leader, a faint, branching channel of negative charge that zigzags downward from the cloud, pausing in tiny steps, feeling its way toward the earth. Each step is only about 50 meters, and each pause lasts just millionths of a second. But slowed down, you can watch it explore the air, forking left and right, searching for a match. And from the ground, something rises to meet it, a positive streamer, reaching upward. When they connect, a return stroke races upward through the channel. This is the bright flash we see, not the start of the process, but its culmination. Sometimes, this path is reused several times in quick succession, creating the effect of a flickering bolt, one strike, but many pulses. What we perceive as a single moment is actually many moments layered together, and when we view it slowly, we can see lightning for what it truly is, a dialogue, a reaching out, a connection formed between opposites. There are also other forms of lightning that unfold in different ways. Spider lightning, spreading horizontally across the sky. Anvil crawlers, creeping through the tops of storm clouds. Sprites, flickering high above the clouds in colors of red and blue. Mysteries only visible for a blink, and now captured in careful, patient frames. All of this was always there, hidden inside the flash. Only now we have slowed time enough to see it. Tonight, imagine the sky doing the same for you, slowing down, unfolding its motions, letting you witness what usually passes too fast to hold. Let your thoughts do the same, not racing, not vanishing, but flickering slowly, gently across the sky of your mind. You don't need to rush to the flash. You can rest in the steps that lead to it, the quiet searching, the gentle building, the graceful connection. Even lightning, brilliant and wild, has its process. Even in the fastest things, there is patience. So breathe slowly, drift softly. You're moving at lightning's real pace now, quiet, measured, beautiful. There's something special about falling asleep during a storm, not despite the thunder, but because of it. The rhythm of rain, the rumble of distant clouds, the hush between flashes, all of it becomes a kind of music. It plays not loudly, but low, underneath thought, beneath consciousness, weaving its way into the fabric of sleep. Sleeping through a thunderstorm is not always about ignoring it. It's about becoming part of it, letting the storm move around you while you stay still, letting its motion sing you deeper into rest. As the rain begins, it creates a soundscape that is both natural and rhythmic. Each drop tapping leaves, roofs, windows like soft percussion. No two drops fall exactly the same, but together they create a steady, soothing presence. Then comes the thunder, sometimes sharp and near, but often distant, rolling through the sky like a great exhale. When thunder is far away, it loses its edge. It becomes soft, muffled, like drums played under blankets. And in between it all, there's space, pauses, silence thick with anticipation but without urgency. This balance of sound and quiet, of rhythm and stillness, mirrors the natural breath of sleep. Slow inhale, gentle exhale. Again, the storm, in a way, becomes your breathing companion, matching you, guiding you, reminding you that even when the sky is moving, you can rest. The air changes too, cooler, fresher, richer with the scent of earth and water. Windows fog slightly. Blankets feel heavier in the best way, not from weight, but from comfort. There's safety in being tucked in, while the world outside whispers in rain and wind. It's like being cradled inside a living lullaby. Even lightning, when distant, adds to the experience. Brief flashes illuminating the room, just enough to notice, then gone again, like someone checking in without saying a word. Tonight, you might find yourself halfway between sleep and waking, eyes closed, mind adrift. And somewhere in the distance, a thunderstorm carries on, singing its slow, electric song. You don't have to leave your bed. You don't have to chase it. You can simply listen and let it pass through you, like a dream you'll remember without remembering why. You are sleeping through a thunderstorm, and the storm is sleeping through you. Why do some of us sleep better when it rains? Why does thunder make us feel safe, not startled? The answer is more than sound. It's more than science. It's something deeper, older. Storms have always been with us, long before houses, before windows, before even words. Their rhythms are woven into our evolution, into the part of us that listened to the earth to know when to rest and when to rise. Rain is a sound of consistency, each drop unique, but together forming a gentle white noise that masks the chaos of other sounds. It's not silence, it's a blanket over noise. It gives our minds something soft to listen to, something that doesn't ask for attention. It fills the space where restless thoughts might stir. Thunder too has its rhythm, especially when it's far away, low, deep, rolling. Like a voice from a memory, like a song without words. Even the air pressure drops during a storm. And for many, that physical shift is relaxing, a cue to slow down, to settle, to become heavier in our blankets, like the clouds outside. There's a psychological comfort too, a sense of being inside, dry and warm, while the world outside moves and breathes. We feel protected. We feel small in the best way, not insignificant, but held. And perhaps, in the presence of something vast, like a thunderstorm, we remember that we don't have to hold everything. We can let go. We can trust the rhythm. The light shifts too. Clouds darken the room, soften sharp corners, invite lamps and blankets and quiet. It is an atmosphere built for sleep. And so, when the sky sings, in drops and rumbles and flashes, we listen. We rest, we sleep. It is the sky's lullaby, written in water and wind. It says, you don't have to do anything now. You don't have to think. Just breathe. And I'll keep singing until you drift. Tonight, the storm is not something to watch, or brace for, or analyze. Tonight, the storm is your lullaby. Let it play. Let it pass. Let it hold you in its rhythm. The clouds will keep you company. The rain will quiet your mind. And the thunder will hum you to sleep. And as our journey winds down, you floated with thunder, watched lightning bloom, and drifted through the slow, swirling breath of the sky. You've wandered beneath cloud canopies, felt the hush before the rain, and followed gentle winds through starlit storms. I hope this brought you a sense of calm, a quiet awe for the atmosphere that surrounds you, and a reminder that even the most powerful skies can carry peace in their patterns. If these sleepy weather journeys bring you rest, feel free to like or subscribe, but only if it feels right for you. There's no pressure, just your presence here is more than enough. Now you can rest. Let your body soften, let the thoughts slow and settle. Snuggle in and let the sky fade to grey behind your eyelids. Let the distant storms become soft echoes in your dreams. Gentle rumbles, flickering light, the sky speaking in sleep tones. You're safe now. The weather will keep watch for a while. Good night. Peaceful dreams. Calm skies to you.